We love the way that Joe Simon uses sound to take his story so much further, and he has 8 tips to help you make your sound design stronger.
Hey everyone, I'm Joe Simon from The Delivery Man. Stronger sound design gives you the power to create fuller, richer stories. Think about the environment you want to create and use strong sound design to push your 2-dimensional film into a 3-dimensional experience. I've broken down much of what I've learned into 8 different tips that you can start using right away.
All right, let's get started. Number 1.
The first tip starts with paying attention to the first thing people see in your scene, the key actions. It's a foot hitting the floor, a door opening, or an engine starting. We need to make sure that the viewer can hear the main action in your shot. When the viewers see these actions but doesn't hear these actions, it can feel disjointed and they can start to pull away from your story. Start by making sure you can hear all the sounds of your key actions. I tend to have those just a bit louder so you can feel them, but not too loud so they sound fake. After your key actions, the next step is tip 2, which is thinking about the ambient room tone. This is the background noise in your shot. The world we live in is never silent. We're always hearing something, whether it's a car driving by, footsteps, something is always on. Including these sounds in your works makes the shot feel real, and even more convincing to the viewer. It's also important to think about the environment you're trying to create. Making the sound a little bit bigger than the picture can really create a fuller environment and give you a 3-dimensional experience. Think about the sounds that don't appear in the shot that could still be potentially heard, such as birds, a dog barking, or people talking off screen. A great way to improve and strengthen your sound atmosphere is to add in these outside the shot sounds. But don't get trapped in just having the camera sound. Push yourself to think about how you want the shot and environment to feel, and add in more sounds to help you feel that out. Okay, tip 3. So what do you do when you have a clip but the sound is really bad? Say you have a shot of a car driving down the road, it was a really windy day, and now that audio is totally ruined. Normally what I'll do is I'll look in that same project and see if there's another shot where I can pull the sound of a car driving by that works. But if I don't have another shot, I'll look at even another project and pull a car sound from that. Having bad audio will ruin your story. So you want to make sure you can find the right sounds that are going to match up to the shots you need. Another big thing I learned, and it takes some time to do this, but is to start building a library of different sounds that you can use in future projects. Being able to have people clapping, a door closing, footsteps, etc. will really make your life a lot easier, less headaches, less money, and better projects.
And that's 4. Let's hear the 5th one.
What do you do if you didn't record the live sound while you're on set? There are some really great online libraries out there where you can find a lot of amazing Foley sounds. One site I frequent often is freesound.org. Like the name says, it's free, and when in a pinch, you can find a lot of really great sounds to fit your projects. Tip number 6 has to do with your overall sound mix. It needs to be perfect, from the music, to the ambient sound, to the key action sounds. And it's important that your audio never peaks, which means going above 0 dB or decibels on the audio meters in your editor. If it is peaking, it's going to distort as soon as it gets out on the web. We can get fooled by thinking that it sounds okay when we're working in our editor, but when we export and it hits the web, it can sound terrible. So don't let your audio peak. For an overall mix, I'll set the background or ambient noise between -17 and -20 decibels. For the noises for on-screen actions, between -6 and -12. If the project is for the web, I'll mix to -3 because that's what computer speakers can handle. And if it's for broadcast, we'll mix to -12. When I stay within these ranges, my audio never distorts. Now, if you find yourself needing to recreate sounds after the shoot, we often call this Foley. Now try to keep an open mind and a fresh approach, and think outside the box. Often if you use exact items you saw in the shot to recreate your sound in post, it can feel too soft or fake. For instance, we had a shot where we were pouring dog food into a bowl. When we tried to Foley that sound in post, the dog food and bowl just didn't sound right. The metal was dinging and the kibble was making funny sounds, and it just didn't work. So instead of using dog food, we used cornflakes and switched out the bowl from a metal bowl to a paper bowl. This sounded much lighter and we got the sound we wanted. I didn't have to use dog food to recreate the sound of dog food. I also like to speed up or slow down the sound depending on the sound itself to get the right tone to match the shot. Remember that you can think outside the box for Foley and create an environment that better complements your story. When I'm working with Foley, it's important to play around with different items to get the right sound.
Okay, Joe. Amazing tips so far. What's the final one for creating stronger sound design?
My last tip deals with the two things you need to record good Foley. The first is a nice quiet environment. The second, a good quality microphone. If you don't have a studio, make sure to find a place that's very quiet with no echo. Depending on the environment, I'll use a shotgun or a condenser microphone. These mics reduce echoes, which are your worst enemy when recording Foley. For a beginner, I'd recommend a Rode NTG2 shotgun mic. This mic works very well, but you can even use a Rode VideoMic Pro if you have it on manual settings. All of these tips help to create a stronger sound design by pushing the two-dimensional medium into a three-dimensional experience, which will help you tell fuller, more compelling stories.
In the discussion area below, share a time that you thought outside the box when recreating a sound for a key action. And if you have any questions about creating stronger sound design, share those there too.
Did you just learn something new to up your filmmaking game? Well, learn even more with our other tutorials. And remember to subscribe to know when new videos are released. Got questions? Ask away in the comment section. Or just say hi. Hi. How you doing? I'm good. If you're asking.